Recording in progress. There it is. Okay, so go ahead, scroll down to our next page. All right, so we're going to talk about Ironman 70.3 in Chattanooga. And we're guessing that most of you guys are participating in that event, or perhaps you're looking at the full Ironman in September. This presentation obviously has some great tips for the full, but we're really focused on execution of the half. But next slide. So the person speaking, this is me, Coach Lana Burrell, and the person who's going to present the bulk of the information is Coach Melinda Farrell. And she's a USAT level 1 coach. She's also a level 1 CrossFit coach. So she works with, busy people with busy schedules, who don't have a lot of time to train, but still want to have great results. Runners, triathletes, and those in the fitness area. So people are doing more kind of like the Spartan and DECA kind of events as well. So she's able to harness her endurance experience with her fitness experience. She's a 5-time Ironman finisher. She's done multiple 70.3s. And she's done the Chattanooga course 3 times total, 2 as an Ironman, 2 as a half Ironman. And she's done a lot of running, and she continues to do a lot of running. So she's got great experience kind of in all areas to share with us today. So I'm going to turn it over to her and we'll get started.
All right. Yay. Here we go. If you're not muted, I think we've muted everybody. Use the chat window to ask some questions. Lana, if you'll definitely let me know if there's anything that pops up in there. We are recording this, and we borrowed a lot of images from the interwebs because we didn't have that many. We have plenty of our own athletes and friends and family and everybody, but nothing that specifically was for the topics that are going to be presented. All right, so today we're going to cover 3 big chunks here. Triathlon race basics, so 10 keys to any triathlon. 70.3 Chattanooga specifics. Course specifics and things like that, little insider tips here and there, and then the best things to do in Chattanooga, because if you haven't been to Chattanooga before, or if you need a place to go eat or things to do while your athlete is racing, or if your family needs things to do, just go ahead and check those out at the end, and that way you know where to go and what to do in Chattanooga. Mental preparation, that is our first step here. It may not seem like a lot, but in endurance racing, mental is definitely as important as physical. Set yourself up for success. Visualize yourself crossing that line, getting that medal, and hearing your name called. That's one of the best things about Ironman. You may want to quit, but definitely your mental training will push you through to the end. Realistic race pace. Set realistic expectations for yourself based on your training. Don't set yourself up for failure with unrealistic goals. Don't think you're going to go out there and crush the pros. We all have those goals in mind, but realistic goals will help you exceed those expectations when possible. Some of you have the coaches that'll help you determine those paces. But if not, here at LB Endurance, we definitely have coaches available. Nothing new on race day. Of course, we've all heard that before. You want to walk through the athlete village and see all the new products that are out there. And you talk to your friends and they're using something completely different. But use what works for you. Train with your equipment and your clothing. Practice your nutrition strategy before you get to that race. You don't want to have a bad day because of nutrition. Practice your open water swim in your wetsuit. Know what works for you. Individualize things are what keep our sport going. I mean, we've all got different wants and needs for racing. That's why we have so many different nutrition companies and so many different clothing companies that work for this sport. try your kit and your fuel on long training days. I know most of you have your long bricks coming up. Test out that clothing, see what you want to race in, make sure that there's enough pockets for what you want to put in there. Are you chafing anywhere? Does it feel right? Even if we don't chafe, sometimes things can be uncomfortable. Fuel the way you plan to. Make sure that it doesn't upset your stomach. Know what they offer on course. On course in Chattanooga, they offer Morton gels now, which is fantastic. They have Gatorade Endurance on both the run and the bike. On the bike, it's always orange, and on the run, it's always yellow. You definitely get sick of that in a full Ironman. Half Ironman's not so bad, so you can definitely deal with 56 miles of orange Gatorade. Be familiar with the course. For Chattanooga specifically, the swim is all downstream, which is lucky because every time I raced Chattanooga half, it was partially upstream. So that's nice that you get to swim downstream. You will self-seed yourself at the start. 3 total bridges that you will swim under. The map shows 2, but there is a pedestrian bridge that you do swim under. On the bike, there's the 56-mile rolling lollipop of a course. There's one butt kicker of a hill. There's what I would consider 2 hills on this course, but one is a sneaky little hill. The run is 2 loops and it's hilly, but at least you get to turn around at the girls' preparatory school. Unlike the full, you would run Barton a total of 4 times, but in the half, you just get to run to the top and then come right back down. Know where your friends and family are going to be. Know where those cheer sections are. That'll help get you through that hard part of the race. Getting your day started. So early morning, you're going to get up, you're going to go check all your things into transition. Your bike's already going to be there. So you're just going to set all your stuff out. Make sure you've got all your water, all your fluids, pump your tires. There are always pumps available in transition. If you don't want to go stand in that long line, ask your neighbor. Most triathletes are very open to helping fellow athletes. Getting to swim start, there are 2 ways to get there. You can either walk, which I prefer to do because that way you get a little bit of a warm up. You don't have the option of getting car sick. And the bus, if you're going to take the bus, it's athletes only. So if you have a group of people that want to go to the swim start with you, walking is an easy option. Morning bags, you will get morning bags when you check in. You're going to place your clothing, your shoes, and all the things that you take with you to swim start that you want back after the race. You're going to put them in there and drop it off before you jump in the water. I wouldn't put anything super important, like I wouldn't take my cell phone or the key, anything like that. I would hand those to friends or family. But if you need to leave maybe a hotel key, that would be something that would be acceptable in there. Self-seating. This is the start of Chattanooga 70.3 actually in this photo. You will line up in this fun line that goes down the river walk. You will put yourself in line according to your expected finish time. There's signs along the way with volunteers that are telling you how fast each swimmer would go. Definitely be honest when you do this. If you put yourself in the wrong spot, you may get swam over, or you might have to run into swimmers that you're going to have to swim around.
Melinda, let's
Yes.
hey, let's talk a little bit about, we know this is a downriver swim.
Yes.
So everybody's going to get a little assist from the current.
Very true.
You know, so everybody talks about this, of course, and it's one of the reasons the race is so popular. You know, what kind of a boost could somebody expect to get on race day?
If you're a strong swimmer, maybe 5 to 10 seconds per 100, but if you're a slower swimmer, it could give you up to 20 seconds per 100.
And we know that this river being controlled by a TVA dam, it's just a little upstream there, that conditions can change day to day, temperature can change day to day. So But it's typically been a wetsuit legal, is that correct?
Yes, it has been in the past for sure.
Excellent. And I'll leave that, you guys, we're going to talk a little more about the swim, but if you have questions about the swim, hop into that chat or let us know. But go ahead.
Here is that swim course. As you can see, the map does show just 2 bridges, but there is one right here with the pedestrian bridge that you will swim under. That's actually a great spectating spot. My sister actually found me in my first Ironman in Chattanooga, swimming under that bridge. So that is one fun thing that you can see your swimmers actually during the swim for this race. There are multiple siding buoys along the way. They're usually about 100 yards apart. You will keep those buoys to your right. You will swim under all those bridges, so they're a great place to know where you are on the course as you're swimming down. You will make your way to the exit near the red buoy. In our next slide here, I'm pretty sure we have a picture of the exit where there are 2 red buoys that you will swim in between. There are stairs when you get out. Those are slippery, but you have plenty of volunteers that are stationed on those stairs to help you out. Use them. They're there to help you. There is the exit. Here you can see the red buoy. There's plenty of support out on the water. Plenty of kayakers, paddleboarders, jet skis, all watercraft are out there. These are the stairs that you will exit, but there are plenty of volunteers just standing there ready to help you out. This is the very end, so you can see there's 2 buoys that you swim in between to get to those stairs to then run on to transition. Swim to T1. On that picture there, that past picture, you can see this fun little river walk right here. This is what you're going to run. And you're going to run under this little pavilion thing here, this little bridge pier thing. You're going to run underneath it and you're going to take a ramp up right there. There is a big concrete block in the middle of the river walk, but there is usually a volunteer blocking athletes. But I have seen somebody actually trip and fall over top of it. So just be aware that it's there and it's right before that little pier. The ramp up is steep, but there's handrails, use them. You've got plenty of time to get your goggles off. If you're wearing a wetsuit, you have time to strip it down and get your swim cap off. I've seen way too many people try to start the bike with their swim cap still on underneath their helmet. So just take your time. You may be a little disoriented after being flat for about 30 minutes or so. You're going to stand straight up and it can be a little disorienting. Take that time in your transition to T1, in your time there from the swim to T1 to get your bearings back. That way, if somebody flies past you in that short walk there, that way you're going to probably pass them again in transition if you're back to being oriented. Here are those exit steps again, and lovely volunteers here helping people out. This is on the way to the ramp. Right past this picture, you get on a metal ramp that is carpeted. If they have wetsuit strippers, which the pandemic kind of changed, if you do or if you don't. If they are, they're usually right over here in this corner as you make your left-hand turn to go up to the ramp. T1. This is where you get yourself ready to ride. Get your helmet, your sunglasses, your bike shoes, your socks if you're wearing them. I personally don't wear socks on the bike, so I don't put socks on until the run. There are porta potties in transition. There are plenty of volunteers there that will help you with sunscreen. The exit of T1 is at the far south end of transition. The aquarium is a great locator for all of downtown Chattanooga, so it's away from the aquarium if you need to orient yourself. A good point that Michael brought up to me is that there is only one transition area for Chattanooga. There's not multiple. You're going to have your bike, you're going to have your run stuff, you're going to have everything in that one transition area. So know where that is. It's centrally located. Your bike course. I love this course. I've ridden it so many times. I used to go every weekend when I lived in the Knoxville area. I would drive down every weekend. It is a gently rolling course. I know we all hate to hear that because we think gently rolling and hilly are two different things. But like I said earlier, there's only like 2 hills in this course. You'll exit the city, you'll go to local neighborhoods, and then you'll be out on country roads in the state of Georgia. Gentle rollers, they help you maintain your momentum. You can use the momentum from the down on one to get yourself up the next. Just keep your crank turning and maintain that cadence, and you will propel yourself onto the run. There is bumpy roads in some spots. There are rumble strips at times in the shoulder, but you will see those coming. Most of your aid stations are on slight uphills. That way you can kind of be slower on your way up. All of your aid stations also are a place to throw your trash. Usually there's a sign just beyond there that says last chance trash, and there's usually fun volunteers, usually children, that are out there with signs that are like basketball goals, trying to get you to hit it. Definitely watch for those railroad tracks when you exit the city. They are all in a bunch and you're all going to hit them at the same time. So watch out for bottles, your own bottles, make sure they don't pop out, and watch out for the ones that pop out in front of you. There is the one sneaky hill is at the left-hand turn just beyond the 25-mile marker. As soon as you turn left, you're going directly uphill. It is a very short hill, less than a quarter mile for sure. It's Andrews if you want to look it up on the map. Just know that you're going to drop your gears and prepare yourself to spin up prior to the turn. I've seen way too many people try to grind their gears to get up that hill or actually walk on that hill. Just be prepared and you won't have to do either one of those. The other big hill is climbing out of Chickamauga. You're rewarded with a super fast downhill on that one. Andrews, not so much. You kind of climb up and stay steady. But the one after Chickamauga, as soon as you get to the top, you get this nice big downhill that takes you on back toward the main road to get you back to town. Be ready for flat tire repair. You don't want to wait for help. You could see the truck go by you and then get a flat, and they have to drive all the way around the course to get back to you. So just be prepared. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there, and there's plenty of bike shops and coaches and things that'll help you with flat tire repair.
Melinda, that's a great review of the bike course. Do you guys have any questions about that or about taking those turns? Like she said, the Andrews will kind of come up on you. So, slow down, get to easy gears, and be ready to spin up it. Don't try to attack it, because you have a sharp turn and you're more likely to get clogged up with other cyclists there. So even if you have a great plan, you're like, oh, I did it by myself. It's a little different when you got 20 people around you all trying to do the same thing.
For sure. Here are some fun pictures from the bike course. As you can see, there are some orange arrows that are on the road for the bike course. There's actually orange arrows for the bike and green arrows for the run. This other picture is from Chickamauga. It's a great place to spectate for the full, for sure. It's a little faster turnaround for the half, since you don't do 2 loops through there, but it's still a great little town. People that live there come out and cheer you on. So it's definitely fun to experience that part of Georgia. Back to T2. So as you're coming back in, you're going to cross those railroad tracks again. Just beware of that. You're going to get to T2. You're going to hop off. You're going to place your bike on the rack. Definitely hop off at the line before you get to T2. Definitely rack your bag back in your numbered spot. It is tight, but it's a huge transition. So make sure you get your spot. Everything's numbered for a reason. You're going to switch your shoes, add your socks, grab your hat, number, and all your nutrition that you need for your run. There is aid about every mile on the run. So if you are prepared to use what's on the run, use it. If not, take all of your fun stuff and have things that you need with you in case those things don't work with you. Slow down enough in T2 to take your helmet off. I have seen people start the run with their helmet on. Just take that time to like breathe. You may not win the race in transition, but you can definitely set yourself up for success in the next event. There's also those porta potties again and sunscreen again if you see that is necessary. On to the run. It is a 2-loop spectator friendly course. The bridges are definitely sneaky hills, especially the pedestrian bridge. That thing is a big hill. Nobody tells you that until you go experience it yourself. But insider information, it's definitely a hill. Just be prepared. Do as I say, not as I do. Take that hill out of transition behind the aquarium slower than you think. I have felt so good getting off the bike and started running up that hill and been like, holy crap, how can I not make it to 1 mile without being super winded? And it's because you run straight uphill for the first mile. They have eliminated the short out and backs on the course. This map is from the 2022 course. Hopefully they'll have the 2023 course out soon. Basically the same course, though. You will be running along the Riverwalk a little bit more. Riverwalk is great. It does change surfaces a couple times. So you will go from running on the asphalt behind the aquarium to running on concrete on the Riverwalk. And then there's also wooden bridges on the Riverwalk. So just be prepared for those. If it's wet, they can be a little slippery, but we've all practiced that. Also, the pedestrian bridge is definitely treacherous in some points. Your footing you can kick a loose board or there's little poles on it. So just watch your footing. It is all wooden on the pedestrian bridge, which is this Walnut Street Bridge here. Just watch your footing there. Barton is half as intimidating as the Foal. You do get to turn around at the girls' preparatory school entrance, but then you get rewarded with this fun bombing downhill, and you run under the Veterans Bridge, which is the bridge you just came off of to get to Barton. 8 is almost every mile. This is the Walnut Street Bridge here, the pedestrian bridge that you will be running. Over here, you see a sign that's been put on one of these poles. It is a great spectator-friendly spot. People are everywhere for this thing. There's also a fun little ice cream shop over here that spectators love to hit, that's for sure. Be familiar with transition. This is a photo of transition looking at the aquarium. This is your orientation spot for all of Chattanooga. This photo is from about halfway down transition. There's probably that many more bikes back behind whoever's taking this photo. You are going to have everything. That is your central location for all of the race. You are going to check in your bike on Saturday. You'll leave it overnight. They're all guarded. There's so many bikes in there that there's probably way more money in there than there is in that aquarium over there. You're going to check your bike in on Saturday. You have to have this stickers race on your bike and only the stickers race. I cheat and I've hidden mine underneath my aero bars so you can't see them. On Sunday is when you're going to set up your transition beside your bike. There's not so many provided bags for the half, so you won't have things to break them up, but you can bring your own bags or whatever you need to set your transition up to where it's easier for you to grab everything. There are porta potties and sunscreen, usually near the entrances and exits of the bike and the run. So one on one side, one on the other. Definitely sunscreen on the chat there. Hydration and fueling. Chattanooga is notoriously hot. Every single time I've raced Chattanooga, it has been hot. Even the year that it was semi-cool, it was still hot for me.
Yeah, last year it started out nice and cloudy and shaded. Everybody came in on the bike feeling good, and then the clouds opened and it like the temperatures went up 15 degrees before a thunderstorm rolled in. So
for sure.
Chattanooga never disappoints. It is always a warm race.
Yes, always warm. Know what you need to survive those conditions. I personally sweat a ton, so I take salt tabs with me on the bike, take them every 30 minutes. And I have them on me in the run if I need them. Pack your gels or your other foods that you know that you can stomach. I've seen people make their own little meals that they have in their back pocket that they'll eat out on the course. Know if you can chew or run now. Don't try to go chew while you're running the half marathon. I cannot chew and run myself. So I have switched my nutrition to where I chew on the bike and I take gels on the run. You are not alone out there. This race is full of everybody trying to accomplish the same goal, just trying to get to that finish line. Speak to your fellow racers. A kind word from somebody can brighten your spirit when you're in the pain cave. Be that light for somebody. Don't let them suffer in silence. You're running out there with them. Make friends, cheer them on, and get that mutual encouragement along the way, especially when times are hard. Have different goals for yourself. Everybody's goals may be different, but have multiple goals in a pyramid style or ABC. My goal personally is always to finish. If anybody knows me, I had to walk an entire marathon for the Coeur d'Alene full in 2021 because it was so hot. But that was my number one goal, was to finish. Feeling good while racing could be another. Placing high in your age group could be a lofty goal. As long as everything falls into place, and depends on who shows up to race. What are your goals for this race? Anybody want to share that with us in the comments? Welcome to do that. Even if you don't do that now, you can write them down, focus on them, share them with your fellow athletes and your coaches, and that way we can cheer you to those goals. Enjoy and smile. This is the finish line for all of your training. It is just a hobby, so definitely don't take the fun out of it. I know it's fun to be competitive and race hard, but we're all there for the fun of it and to keep fit. The pain is temporary, so definitely smile through it. Bonus tips. The 2022 athlete guide is available online. 2023 is coming soon. It's usually about 6 weeks out from the race when they put those out. Attend or watch an athlete briefing. You're responsible to know the information that they give you there. So definitely show up and see how that works out, especially if it's your first one. You have any questions that are specific to the race directors or officials, they will be there. They will help you through all of that. It is a big race and it will definitely be crowded. Follow the rules, race safely. We had a discussion on Sunday about drafting and how it can be a draft fest in spots, but just do your best. Don't blatantly draft off of somebody, but it is crowded and there's probably going to be a little bit of drafting going on.
Yeah, and be careful if you are in a draft pack. Make sure you're not half wheeling with somebody,
Yeah.
So sneaking your front wheel halfway alongside another bike, because as soon as they move, that will take you down. So in courses like this, if you are going to pass, rather than trying to ride in a pack or something, just be really deliberate about your placement. If someone passes you, yields, let them go. If you're going to pass somebody, do it sort of with intention, so that you don't get into an unsafe situation. But the roads are still open to traffic, so check behind you, make sure your head is on a swivel. Even though people in this area know that the race is coming, sometimes they get a little impatient, and we're all aware of what that's like. So definitely taking a couple extra seconds here and there throughout your bike course is going to end up paying off rather than trying to get all crafty or aggressive. So just be careful out there. There's a lot of bikes, a lot of people on
You want to
aero
make
bars.
it to that finish line. You want to make it to the run. So don't wreck on the bike course if you can
Not
help
worth
it.
it. It hurts.
Yes.
Not worth it.
Very much so. I don't have any skin left on my elbow. Registration is on Friday and Saturday. Get down there early, pick up your packet. Don't stress yourself out trying to get there at 5 p.m. on a Saturday. Especially when you have to drop your bike off on Saturday. You want to have that checked in, good to go. You're going to set up your transition on Sunday. Bring everything with you Sunday morning before that race starts. Spectator info.
Make sure, guys, make sure you put your stickers on your bike. You can't take your bike to transition and then pick up your packet.
No.
You got to get your packet picked up first.
They will not let you in transition without the sticker on your bike because they will take photos. Spectator info.
Oh, actually, we got a quick question here.
Yep.
Kelly is asking us any advice about dropping the bike off as far as letting air out of the tires because of heat and sun.
If it's going to be super hot, I would definitely let some out. If it's going to be a cool night, I probably wouldn't let out too much. But definitely recheck them all on Sunday morning. If you want to let it out so you don't have your tires pop, I've heard them pop, I've seen them pop, especially on hot days down in Chattanooga. You could let a little out. I wouldn't go all the way flat before.
Yeah. And I would also say make sure that you're not running your tires at 110 or 115 psi, no matter how big of a person you are. Like, get that pressure down under 100 anyway, and they should have enough expansion for you if it's blazing hot sun. But it can't hurt to let some air out for sure. Just know to take that extra time in the morning, that it's going to take you probably an extra bit to go get to a pump or whatever. So
very true.
Good question.
Yeah. Spectator info. These are all the hot spots to place your spectators or tell them where to go. Swim exit along that ramp is primo. We usually have somebody from Knoxville that goes and hits that spot super duper early in the morning so everybody can pop in and see their athletes get in and out or out of the swim. Bike out is also a great spot. It's the far end of transition away from the aquarium. Bike in, same spot. Great spot to see your athletes come in or go out on the bike. The run exit, the whole hill behind the aquarium, the whole road is a great spot for somebody to be. The pedestrian bridge, as you saw in the photo, full of people, great spot to spectate. Veterans Bridge, there's usually not as many people over there, but it's still a great spot to hit. Battery Place is this sneaky short hill that runners will hit prior to going onto the Veterans Bridge. That place is a great place for spectators to be or signs to be placed. I was struggling at one point in a 70.3 down there, and somebody had placed a sign in Battery Place for me. So that lifted my spirits, got me up that hill and onto the Veterans Bridge, kept me moving for sure. North Shore, if you walk across the pedestrian bridge, if you walk across the pedestrian bridge, you will be on the North Shore there. There are plenty of restaurants, places to go, shops to see over there if you're waiting for somebody. Definitely a party area. Usually there are a few shops over there that set up cheering spots. So it's a great place. They usually have some loud music over there that helps going on. The finish chute, always a classic spot to watch. That way you can see your athlete cross that finish line and you can catch them on the other side.
Yeah, and the finish chute is quite long, and there's usually at least 2 or 3 pedestrian crossings for it. So It is easy to get back and forth. Just it's a little tight along the river side of it. So that would be the right side of the finish chute. So your pedestrians. I would also recommend, we didn't say this in the other presentation, but if you have spectators there that are watching you, pick a meetup spot if you possibly can. Because once you get out of the end, so you go through the finish chute, there's the finish line, and then they've got the entrance to medical, the entrance to the food, and everything's kind of blocked up a little bit. And it's a very chaotic intersection there. So just kind of scope things out, maybe either in the morning or the day before, and just say, hey, if we don't connect at the finish line, meet me here, because you've got 3,000 some athletes and a whole lot of volunteers. I mean, there's like 15,000 people down around there milling about. So just kind of keep that in mind, have a meetup plan ahead of time. We got a couple questions.
Yeah.
So can you take swim sandals? So are you talking about, I'm guessing, wearing some flip-flops or shoes before the swim? Absolutely. Melinda, you want to talk about the morning bags?
Yeah, so in your morning, you'll have a morning bag when you check in. You're going to take that with you to swim start, and you will throw your shoes in there. So you can wear your shoes the whole way to swim start before you drop your bag. You'll definitely take them off, hand them to the volunteers. They'll take all of those bags back to transition, and you will pick those up after the race. So you won't see those sandals again until the end of the race. The exit, nobody's wearing shoes, but it is all concrete or carpet on your way to your bike in transition. So usually there's not any rocks or anything. They're sweeping those off the day before the race. So just be aware you're going to be running on concrete or walking on concrete and carpet before you get to your bike. Pre-swim, that changes from year to year. I know in the past they've had pre-swims up at the dam just to be able to get in the water. Usually they don't let you swim on the course because it is an open river. I'm not exactly sure. That's a race specific thing.
Yeah, and that's one of those things, I would say, check the athlete guide when it comes out, the 2023 guide. And if you don't see anything about it in there, if it's not listed on the schedule, then I would say, no, there is not a pre-swim. But locally in Chattanooga, there is the Chattanooga Tri Club. You could reach out to them potentially and just see, hey, are you guys doing a pre-swim the day before or on Friday? And you might luck out and find that that's an option. But I would defer to the official athlete guide, because generally if they have one, it's fully supported with volunteers. It's a limited time and a limited area. So they will advertise that. And Kelly just posted that, yeah, the last 2 years they haven't done it.
Even in years past when they had one, it was like up at the dam, not on course.
Not on the course. Correct. That is correct. Yeah. Good question.
Yeah. Ooh. Everybody wants to know where to eat in Chattanooga. Taco Nougat, it's on the North Shore. Of course, Lana said there's 2 locations now, so that's awesome. It's a little hole in the wall, but it's delicious. Taco Mamacita is super awesome about supporting athletes and teams and races. So if you want to go support them, they're helping to support you. Big River Grill, nice place to eat, multiple options on the menu. Puckett's, same thing. If you're looking for pasta, Tony's Pasta Shop up in the Art District, great spot to eat. The ice cream show is that fun place to eat while you're spectating. There is a Whole Foods on North Shore if you have a specific plan of what you're going to eat before the race. Definitely check out Whole Foods. Toilets during the bike course question. They are usually located at the aid stations. Usually they have a little rack there that you can hang your bike on, or volunteers there to hold your bike while you run in and use the bathroom. Of course, there's also those athletes that pee on their bike. So just beware that's out there, that's happening. But yeah, there's definitely toilets out there on the bike course at the aid stations.
I mean, technically they frown upon you stopping and going behind a building or on the side of the road, but you know, if nature calls, but
right.
take care of it. Just do it. It's fine.
Went the wrong direction.
Where to eat, and I think your last slide is what to do.
Yeah, the Tennessee Aquarium is a great spot to visit. Growing up in Tennessee, I went there for field trips multiple times. Great place to go. There is a riverside and an oceanside. I love it. I would go if I go to Chattanooga again. I would definitely go again. Coolidge Park is over on the North Shore. There is a great lawn out there that you can play or do any sport. Just rest, watch the river go. There is a carousel over there as well. The Hunter Museum of American Art. I've actually never been in the building, but the building's really cool from the outside. The Bluffview Art District. There are fun things like this. Bike everywhere in Chattanooga. There are statues and sculptures, all kinds of fun stuff, and they change from time to time, so it's always different every time you go up in the art district. The Chattanooga Zoo, I've never been there, but I've heard all about it and it's great. There are dance steps in the concrete on the North Shore, so if you're walking along, you can kind of learn how to do the foxtrot or something crazy while you're over there. And also hit up the Athletes Village. They have all kinds of fun new stuff out there, all the clothing options that you can think of. The shirt, actually, how I roll. I got that from an Athletes Village. Yeah, definitely fun things to do and see in Chattanooga.
You're good. I think we're coming to the end.
Yep, that's it. Any comments or questions?
Yeah, you guys have asked some really good ones as we went through.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you're going to find others. One of my best pieces of advice that I can offer you is if you are in a Facebook user group ahead of the race, like leave that group like 2 weeks before the race. It's just insanity in there. Like they just make you doubt everything and question everything, and you shouldn't be that. At that point, you settled in, you know what your paces are, you know what your hydration and fueling plan is, you know your mental game, you set your goals, and you know it's really about just coming into that race ready and just ready to have a good time and enjoy yourself. I mean, this is a fun hobby, right? So
Oh, and there's that one guy that always trolls all of those.
Yeah.
And just drives everybody nuts.
And everybody always wants the swim to be canceled, but honestly, this is
No.
This is one of the we're from the swimmers here. You know, it's one of the most user-friendly, participant-friendly swims that you can get. It's pretty easy to navigate. Follow that buoy line. It's going to be your fastest line. And those kayaks and paddle boards, they'll herd you is where they need to get you into a safe spot. But just follow that line of buoys and it'll take you right down.
Sure. I have actually done Chattanooga without a swim, and it was not as fun because it starts out as a TT start on the bike, and it is super crowded to start.
Yeah, you want the swim. You really do want the swim. Awesome. Well, as we close today, guys, if you have any other questions, you think of anything, you can go ahead and put that in the chat window or come off mute or wave at me and I'll unmute you all. You know, if you have anything you want to know, please ask us now. I am recording this, so if you missed the beginning or you want a copy of the recording, put your email, or excuse me, what I'll do is you can email me, and I'm putting that in the chat window right now. It's lana@lbendurance.com. If you had a friend that missed it perhaps and they want to get the recording, just send a message to me and I'll be happy to send it on to you. And just to let you know, so LB Endurance, we're a business located in Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm the owner and head coach. Melinda is one of our fabulous assistant coaches. And we have actually quite a complement of coaches that cover cycling, swimming, running, backpacking, obstacle racing, you name it. We've got a great crew. We are open to taking applications for new athletes now. We also provide a lot of performance testing. So we can help you dial in training zones, figure out your sweat rate and your hydration needs. We can help you figure out your pacing and your expected finish time for an event. So please check us out. It's lbendurance.com. We hope to see you guys at Chattanooga. I will be there swimming. I'm part of a relay team, so I'll be pushing my way up to the front of the swim line so I can get out and cheer everybody on afterwards.
Good call.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So yeah, Kelly, great question. Are we going to do an overview of the full? My gut says yes. My gut says yes. So we need to figure out the best timing for that. But we definitely, I think there's enough good interest we've had with you guys today in our group. We had almost 30 people tune into the 2 webinars. So we feel like there's some good interest and good demand. And yeah, there's definitely some differences about doing the full than the half, you know, so in more ways than just one. You know, the course itself is a little different too. So we hope to be able to offer that. So just watch our social media. If you want to get on our mailing list, we do a weekly newsletter. You can go to our website, lbendurance.com, and you can hit the contact us. Go in there, give us your email, and we'll be happy to add you to our list. All right. Any other questions for us today? Well, you've been a fabulous audience. Don't forget to try the fish. All right, we're going to sign off. And again, send me an email if you would like a copy of that presentation.
Sure. Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks. Take care, everybody, and have fun racing. Yes.